What? Welcome to Shame Watch, a guilt-free dive into those massive movie failures that we hate to love.
Wait, what'd you say, Aaron?
No, we're good. I think we're good, bud.
Sync?
Sync.
Each week, we look at a movie that either we or our
You want us
guests
to
love,
sync now?
but society shames
we
them
might be
for.
synced. Are you synced, Kenny?
We peek in each nook.
I love
sync now.
NSYNC. I love NSYNC.
Olivia loves NSYNC. I think we're in sync.
We peek in each nook and cranny for every bright spot, keeping the public at bay while watching these movies like the miracles they are.
The sound is good, yeah.
Welcome to the Quarantine Edition, Episode 2 of Shame Watch.
Woo!
Oh boy, today we're talking Blades of Glory.
Oh,
From
wow.
the directors of those Geico Caveman commercials you loved so much.
Really?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's true. I read that somewhere as well, Kenny. Because Kenny wrote the copy today.
I didn't write the copy today.
So, director of the Geico Caveman commercials that you love so much. Remember that TV show they tried to make?
I remember watching
With
that.
Nick
yeah.
Kroll.
Nick Kroll?
With Nick Kroll.
Nick Kroll?
Yeah.
That's
Oh my
insane.
god.
Yeah.
This 2007 ice skating comedy starring John School for Scoundrels Heater and Will Old School Ferrell will leave you in awe and dazzled by the Iron Lotus itself.
Nice.
I had the extra bit. Sorry, Kenny.
That's great.
It's good. It's good stuff.
I'm
Good stuff.
James Fight. To God, I don't want to do this now. Kenny, introduce yourself.
I'm Kenny, apparently, chief archivist of flatfilms.com. Each week we're releasing episodes of the podcast.
Aaron, to you.
Let's see if I can do this. Aaron Salinas, editor, I guess technical guy. All-around nice guy, I think. I'm a
Sure.
pretty nice guy.
Yeah.
And happy to be here.
Someone's phone is going on.
Yeah.
Oh, that's mine. I'm sorry. I'm trying to charge my phone and it's being weird. I'm gonna
Damn it,
unplug it.
Olivia. I was
Olivia.
about to make the.
Speaking of, I'm
Our-
Olivia Slap and Swatters. I am the social media queen for Shame Watch. And I help. And I am now the official fourth co-host of Shame
Yes.
Watch. So, thank you guys.
'Cause
Woo!
it's
All right, you can
been
use those claps
long-
as a sync point, Aaron.
Yeah, use all those.
Now
claps.
we can start the episode.
Now it's official.
I'm going to be
'Cause-
doing sync checks throughout the podcast
Oh,
just
God.
because the audio is good.
Oh,
It's gonna
God.
be May.
It's for the betterment of the podcast, if we're being honest.
Sync.
So,
NSYNC.
Olivia, how long have you been with us doing social media?
I think it was August, like officially.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Been like, I met y'all in April last
Of
year.
2019.
Yeah, it's almost been a year, guys. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it has.
So
High School
the
Musical.
High School Musical. I feel like that was in the summer. Yeah, well, yeah. I kind of really started. It was like after y'all did Wild Speed Summer.
Nice. Nice. Just
he's
for you,
in
Aaron.
And yeah, I think since August. So yeah, if you're listening to this and you haven't followed us on social media, we are on all of the social media platforms at Shame Watch Pod. Send us a DM, slide into our DMs. It'll most likely be me responding, and I'm cool. So do it.
And yeah, so Olivia's been with us for a long time, doing that and appearing on each few episodes here and there, or giving a quick tidbit that's super funny because she's funnier than all of us. And now it's official because we love you. And
Thanks,
a lot of
guys.
people told me that you're funny and they like you more. But enough about Olivia. This movie's about me because this is my movie that I presented.
James, pull up.
Nope, it's about me, a straight white male. Listen, I love this film. I love Blades of Glory for
Prove
so
it.
many reasons.
I
Uh,
said
Good choice.
What?
Where's your tattoo? Prove it.
Lone Wolf, huh? So, and then all three of you are next to the lone wolf because you're all traveling with the lone wolf, so it's not lonely.
If we get to the $125 a month goal, James will actually get a tattoo
No,
of the lone wolf with all three of us.
I agree
no,
with that.
I don't want a tattoo.
And then we'll get it on video, and then we'll also send you a photo.
Yeah.
Oh man, you all know how to get to my heart with content. Money.
You made
content.
it too easy, James.
Yeah.
You made it too easy.
So that's agreed. 125. That's
125. That's canon.
Put
I
it in
might
the
bump up
books. It's
my
canon.
contributions.
Anyway, me and my absolute best friend, Patrick Scholl.
Kenny Madison.
I mean, everyone's my best friend here, but my absolute best friend is Patrick Scholl.
Okay.
Because he and I became friends in first grade. So he's my longest friendship.
And that's why Blades of Glory is your favorite movie.
That's right. Well, high school.
In conclusion.
In conclusion.
In conclusion.
We would constantly watch this, and then we would quote it all the time to each other. And the scene where Jimmy McElroy and Chaz Michaels see each other after fighting over the gold podium. Michaels, McElroy. We would quote that so much to each other, like when we would see each other in the hallways. So, and the other thing, it has Scott Hamilton in it.
Oh,
It has Scott Hamilton in it. He's in most of the movie. And he is.
He's at least 75% of this movie.
I know, it's great.
It's amazing.
It's so cool. And I don't know. I know we joke, but like Scott Hamilton is actually like super meaningful to me because growing up in Bowling Green, Ohio, 2 hills, had to put it in there. It was just it's the type of town that like if you don't leave, you're stuck in forever. And no one really does great things in Bowling Green. It's just like, oh yeah, you're here. But so to have someone who like to know that someone has won a gold medal in the Olympics for figure skating, like that's insane.
Hold on.
And 4 gold medals in the World Championships.
Mhm.
4?
Yeah.
Swimming.
Kenny, no.
What?
Stop it.
What?
There's still water, James.
Yeah, James, you got it.
Isn't ice
Wrong.
just frozen water?
Yeah, you're right.
Which makes swimming even harder.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was just cool. Because, like, in BG, we have a whole street named after him. Like,
Yeah, I saw that. Its First Avenue is Scott Hamilton Avenue, right?
yeah,
It's
it's
true.
right next to the college.
To me, that means you've made it. Like if you're from a small town and you get it a street there, because small towns don't have fundings to just be throwing away street names willy-nilly.
Right.
No.
Aaron, is that your new goal for Kingsville?
Partially, I'm hoping Santa Gertrudis Avenue is made into Aaron Salinas Avenue,
That'd be awesome.
or a big comfy corner, something, you know.
Big comfy
Just my-
corner.
My old stomping grounds, you know. Show a little respect.
I do.
Speaking of stomping grounds, some people stomped all over this movie.
Oh,
What?
yeah.
For people that have never listened to the podcast before, one of the things that we like to do is add a little bit of context about why someone might feel a little bit of shame about the movie and explain a little bit of what the movie is about. This segment is called
The context. Sync.
Thank you. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, sync.
In
Right.
sync.
Jesus.
Bye.
I'm excited for this review.
Oh, I've never heard any giggle like that. I'm scared.
In a review titled Blades of Glory, review, by Marianne Johansson, published Thursday, March 29th, 2007 at 5:30 p.m. on flickphilosopher.com, and of course, philosopher is spelled with an F.
Naturally.
James,
Good
I love you.
content.
Here it comes. Can it be a good sign that it takes 5 homophobes to come up with lines like, as if figure skating wasn't gay enough already? This describes the tale of figure skaters Chaz Michael Michaels, Will Ferrell, and Jimmy McElroy, John Heder, whose ongoing rivalry lands them both banned from the sport until they discover the loophole that lets them compete as a couple, as a male-male couple. Straight American men are terrified of gay, and that is at the root of all the humor at play in Blades of Glory. Actual gayness is not the issue. Accusations of gayness, the mere appearance of gayness, these are enough to flummox the typical American male, to send him into paroxysms of horror at the possibility that his heterosexuality might be called into question. Blades of Glory is funny only if you think there is something inherently hilarious about the fact that a small minority of men are sexually attracted to other men. Only if you think there is something funny in a straight man being mistaken for one of these freaks of nature. Only if you think there is something amusing about men who are anything other than the Hummer-driving, date-raping, hot-blooded caricature of a manly man. Did I laugh in a few places? Sure, when the film sent up the excesses of figure skating. Not when it assumed I would find homosexuality funny, which is the basis upon which most of the jokes work. To complain about this movie is to give it too much power. It's dumb, it's juvenile, it's pointless. It has nothing to say that's positive or even enlightening by highlighting the sorry state of American culture. It insults everyone, men and women, gays and straights, sports fans and athletes, by demeaning individual choice and personal experience under the guise of celebrating it.
All right. Hold on. We, as a podcast, have watched so much worse movies that deal, like, with that gay phobia.
Mm-hmm.
This is tame compared to those movies.
I would agree.
I will say, when I was looking up some IMDb stuff, there was a review that just kind of hovered at the top, and it gave it 3 out of 10 stars.
Oh,
this is kind of contrary to what Kenny said. It said too gay positive.
Yeah.
And it's TOO. Some funny bits, though.
Yeah. No, I saw that one too.
What?
Listen, the gay phobia jokes don't hold up.
No.
Absolutely. They do not. But, I mean, it'll sound bad, but there's not that many. There's a good bit.
Oh, let's just let that sit there for a minute.
I think if anything, like, watching it again this morning, like, you know, all of the close-up shots of, like, the crotch and stuff, I think it's
more... And just
more...
to clarify, to prepare for this podcast, you've been watching Blades of Glory twice a day, every day.
Oh, yeah.
Olivia's a Blades of Glory expert.
Yes. It's a daily ritual for me.
She was watching it on ice skates. She was just getting in. She just flooded the garage, turned on the AC, and was just skating while watching it.
Exactly. But just like the close-up shots of the crotch. I think it's more of like, I would say it's more just that raunchy, crude humor that most of the 2000s comedy kind of centered on. I do understand that, there are some of the homophobic jokes do not hold up today, but I think more of the other stuff, which just kind of...
I mean, this, in terms of gay panic humor, we've definitely covered far worse films in this podcast. I like this movie. I think it's funny. And I think this is the same amount of gay panic humor that would be commonplace in a 2007 movie. I don't think those jokes would be made today.
No.
Still a problem, but it's also really kind of relegated for that first skating sequence where they're both competing for the first time as a pairs couple.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I think the...
Go ahead, Aaron.
Go ahead, Aaron.
Okay, cool. I think, Sink, the gay panic humor in this is... honestly, and I might get a little flack for this, kind of tame than I thought they would have gone, considering it's Will Ferrell. And then I will admit, I do think this is one of Will Ferrell's funnier characters, I think. And some of the stuff does not stand. And I since we're on the topic,
yes, Aaron.
why was pedophilia kind of a funny humor thing?
Oh, is he talking about when he was 9 years old and he had like a 35-year-old girlfriend?
Yeah.
There's that, and then he also says because when they meet up together in the back of the Grumblings or whatever, and
Oh my
he says
God.
he got fat, and he said, "Oh, I see, you still look like a 15-year-old girl, just not hot."
Yeah.
Like that's
That's one of those instances that it doesn't hold up.
I mean, that was just the sensibility of the time,
it doesn't.
I suppose, which is just trying to say the most provocative, shocking thing. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, because I feel like that, like,
yeah, because
I'm gonna go.
Okay, see you, man.
No, okay, bye. I just got
Bye.
Hey, shout out to
Hold on. Aaron, are you there?
Aaron?
Sync.
Okay. Oh boy. See, we still have fun even in the pandemic, and we're not.
We still
physically
sync
the
up,
same.
you know.
Pandemic party.
What was I saying?
Great question.
I don't know.
I just talked about the pedophilia parts.
Sure. Oh, Grumbles. Grumbles, I think, is hysterical when he is just the shift he had to make from gold medalist to skating as a mascot. And I love his laugh. That like high pitched. Yeah, it's so, I don't know why, but just that juxtaposition of the laugh and then the cut to him just like clearly hating life is just super funny to me. So
this was also during a run in the mid 2000s where Will Ferrell just kept doing nothing but sports comedies.
yes.
Mhm.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Thank you, Kenny. Yeah.
Hey, you're welcome.
This is like during an era I feel like from 2004 to probably 2007 or 2008, where that time period was just shock humor. And it was like, we're going to say the dumbest shit just to make you laugh.
Yeah.
And I think this is on the tail end.
Yeah, because this is also when, because I think this is when South Park was doing their To Catch a Predator episode too. Like, that was kind of a thing. Like, it was just all okay, I guess, at the time. And so I found that kind of like, whoa, I completely forgot people joked about that.
Mm-hmm.
But another thing, and I think this is more of a question for you, James, and this is not to be offensive to the sport itself. This is my own ignorance, given that I grew up so close to,
Texas.
Well, so South Texas. We don't have snow and ice.
Yeah.
Is figure skating a big deal?
What an ignorant question, Aaron. That's so offensive.
Are you just talking about in general or in Ohio?
Yeah. Well, like in the colder states, because like I know it's like, or is it like the closeted soccer fans that come out during the World Cup? We do the same thing for the Olympics.
I mean, I'll say this, like, I knew a lot of figure skaters
that took it like seriously, like McElroy.
No, not that seriously.
Okay, yeah, because I don't know if that's a real thing. If I'm being honest.
No, that culture. I think that was part of the joke, was that it's
okay,
and maybe that's why a lot of this didn't land, was like because that's not how the sport really is. It it felt like a satire, like joking about people who take this too seriously.
So Ice Princess is more realistic in that realm, kind of.
From my experience in Ohio, yes.
Ice Princess.
I also never participated in figure skating. The closest I got was I dated a girl in high school who did it for a couple of years.
The fact that you knew somebody, see, that's leaps and bounds farther than my experience with figure skating.
Leaps and bounds.
Leaps and jumps and Iron Lotuses away from my experience with it, because I've had no knowledge of anybody who knew how to ice skate or had even ever ice skated. So
I've ice skated for sure. Yeah.
There's an ice skating rink here in San Antonio, like 5 minutes from my parents' house. And when I was 11, I had my birthday party there. And they would have these buckets that you could push on if you couldn't balance.
Uh-huh.
And so, yeah, it's definitely a lot harder than it looks.
Yeah, it takes so much balance. It's insane.
That's why it is impressive. I will give it that. I understand it is an incredibly difficult sport. You're walking on knives,
Yeah.
in all honesty. But yeah, I think it's Kenny. What's your experience with ice skating?
No.
Same. Okay.
Yes, no.
I've been to an ice skating rink once, I believe. No, that's not true. Less than a handful of times. Just not a thing for me growing up. But also, I wasn't. Well, I'm not really an outdoors kid.
Sure.
I'm all about that AC. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I want to turn it into an ice skating rink inside.
Amen,
and then instead of skating around on it, I take my shirt off and I put my tummy down on it so I can feel cool for the first time.
And that was the moment Kenny felt cold.
Yeah. So this movie came out in 2007. What do we think of Will Ferrell at this time, folk? Where were you in 2007? How much did you like Will Ferrell?
I was a freshman in high school.
Fresh.
Yeah.
Same. Fishy.
And I loved it. I thought it was great. Like, I knew John Heder from Napoleon Dynamite.
Sure.
And this was such a different role for him at the time.
Was it? Is it?
Yes and no. Yes and no. He went from nerdy to, like, now he's, like, a big deal. Because in Napoleon Dynamite, he's low status. And in this film, I'd say he's high status. To the rest of society.
It's funny because when his character Jimmy McElroy is more of like the calculated figure skater, whereas Chaz Michael-Michaels is more improvising, and he's like, I don't improvise, but then they're doing at the end they're improvising, and I go, You can't improvise, you're freaking Napoleon Dynamite. Did you not? Like, I see that like pelvic thrust you did. Like,
Yeah, the part of that weird time where they were trying to figure out how to use John Heder outside of Napoleon Dynamite, and no one really figured out how.
Well, it's interesting. I looked up his IMDb, and he's been working steadily.
Oh, most definitely. He's so singular as Napoleon Dynamite, and whenever he's playing, for lack of a better word, normal, it just never clicks for some reason.
Yeah.
One of the things that I loved about John Heder in this is, I think the thing that Napoleon Dynamite tapped into so well, outside of just a funny voice, he's got a great physicality. He's really funny in his movements.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, the peacock opening. Oh, he's pulling out the peacock.
Yeah.
I loved it.
The things that he did choreography-wise is something that he was actually bringing to the table, as opposed to like Will Ferrell doing his usual shtick. John Heder had a different physicality to it that, I don't know, kind of bounced off fairly well.
Yeah.
It's a weird buddy pairing of John Heder and Will Ferrell for this as well.
But it works.
It does. I think it does. One of my favorite scenes is when after they get into the fight at Grublets on Ice, and the coach, he's like T-bowing.
Yeah.
And it's like dun dun dun.
That's such a great
slow
moment.
and then he throws them off, and you just see.
Yeah.
And like it turned beautiful in that split second that he's slowing it down.
He's like holding him.
And, as a soccer coach, I totally get it. Because that's what you see. You see moments of greatness.
For me, for Will, I was an SNL kid, and this was his time in SNL was right at my time of being able to comprehend the humor and everything.
Yeah.
And so I loved that. And then I remember seeing him in like Old School, and I think Bewitched is another one I kind of remember off the top of my head. That was before this one. But if I'm being honest, I think I will. I think this is I think it's one of his more memorable roles, and the fact that Ben Stiller was considered for Chaz Michaels
I saw that.
first.
Really?
Yeah. And
Oh,
he said
man.
no because it's too close to everything he's ever played.
Yeah, which was like because Ben Stiller would have been coming off of Dodgeball
Yeah.
Yes.
during this time.
Yeah.
That
And
makes
then-
sense then.
Then
What's
he
his
was Zoolander too.
Yeah, and he was Zoolander.
I
Exactly.
mean, yeah, basically, if this was Ben Stiller's Chess Michaels, it would have been his character from Dodgeball, his character from Heavyweights.
Yes.
It would have just exactly been that.
Yeah.
It would have been good to see Will Ferrell in. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's just John Keeter being quieter as Jimmy McElroy because he's just not as loud of a comedian. And Will Ferrell is just such a force of nature. But it would have been nice to see Will Ferrell underplaying it as well because that's always funny too.
Yeah.
And yeah, because I mean, that's what makes the other guys really work.
Yeah.
Is the fact that he's so low status
Mm-hmm.
and he just makes it work. But and I will say, coming from a big guy, I really usually don't like big guy humor.
Mhm.
But Will Ferrell kind of fits into that like dad bod situation, I guess.
Yeah.
So I kind of caught myself laughing at the fat jokes for him, which I don't normally do.
Sure.
Because like, especially with the treadmill bit, and Craig T. Nelson gets off and he leaves the room and he just like does it real quick just to eat.
Oh my god, I would have done
That was
that
funny.
anyway.
Yeah, it's a funny bit, and I'm like, God, normally I wouldn't laugh, but like, had he been 40 pounds heavier, probably wouldn't have laughed.
Yeah.
But it just works, and just his humor and his physicality to it, of just like that desperation of God, I just need to fucking eat. I don't care about anything else.
Well, the
Like,
fact that it was bread, like
Yeah.
all 100 pounds of me would have still done that and been like, you
Yeah.
didn't see shit.
because we've all been in those moments where we haven't been able to eat for hours, and then like when he's just throwing food at him, throw me some chicken. Like that's such a good line.
And he's singing My Humps, but he's like,
Right.
a lady hump.
It's provocative.
That song
Which,
was that song was so popular at that time too.
Mhm, mhm.
Black Eyed
And
Peas,
then-
man.
That snippet went on to be in Jay-Z and Kanye West song. So this
Oh, really?
movie is
Oh
kind of
yes,
iconic. Yeah.
Oh man.
amazing.
Here's just to give it context of the Will Ferrell sports comedy, which is its own subgenre. These are these sports movies because I don't think he's done any since then. Just the sports movies between 2005 and 2008. Kicking and Screaming, that's a
Oh my
soccer
God.
movie.
Talladega
Nights.
I'm familiar with that one. I love Kicking and Screaming.
Blades of Glory, and Semi-Pro.
Oh, I
So
forgot
he
about
did-
that one.
Yeah, he did 4 sports comedies in 4 years, which is crazy.
I think we found our next marathon, gang.
Will Ferrell sports movies.
Yeah.
Will Ferrell sports movies that most everyone has kind of forgotten about.
Yeah. I think so.
But what I think is great about that is he went to school for sports broadcasting.
Really?
Like,
Yeah.
Oh, that tracks.
That's what he wanted to do. He went to USC for sports broadcasting, which if any place to go, I think that is because it's USC during their heyday.
Mhm.
And on top of that, he was like, hey, I want to do comedy too, so I'll start doing this Groundlings thing after graduation. And that's what he did. And he's always on ESPN bits. He's always doing stuff. He just likes sports. And
Yeah.
I think he's kind of at that point in his career where if it's kind of like a goofy, dumb sports movie, he's the first one you think of.
Oh yeah.
And you just kind of give it to him.
Agreed.
But yeah, I think, yeah. Even with all the stuff that doesn't hold up, the homophobia, the pedophilic jokes, his bits are just like the illustrated man where he starts like pointing out his tattoos.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that's just like such a weird uncle conversation that you didn't ask for.
Mhm.
Like, but it's just,
Michelle Kwan.
yeah, the dragon lady herself.
And Michelle Kwan was an ice princess. Remember, she made a cameo.
Yes,
Oh
like
yeah, that's right.
She made a cameo at the
our
end.
second week of Michelle Kwan.
Yeah, and then Oksana Bayul.
And Why didn't Pam from The Office ever work out with anything else, really?
Because she had the success of The Office.
She's kind of just locked into The Office for 9 years.
Yeah.
So she could only do like a movie every once in a while.
Yeah, but like now, I mean, we don't see a lot of her now. Like we're seeing what's his face.
Because she's in her 40s.
Yeah, that
And
is.
Hollywood is ageist and sexist.
I think she's in her 40s, rather.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she's 46. So that's kind of why, unfortunately.
Also,
Okay.
this movie was when Amy Poehler and Will Arnett were still married.
I
Yes.
know.
Yeah, it made me sad.
I
But
know.
also, I love their characters.
Yes, they're amazing. Although, yeah, when they announced they were getting divorced, I'm like, love is dead.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, absolutely. I cried.
They're amazing in this movie.
I
Yeah.
wish they never. Man, it's in Amy Poehler's autobiography about how, like, because it talks about like her separating with Will, and I just get so sad in that bit because like she talks about like how amazing of a father he is,
Yeah.
Mhm.
but like it just didn't work out. I'm like, no, that can't happen. But now she's with Nick Kroll.
I don't think so anymore.
Well, she was for a bit.
Sure. Who is Amy Poehler dating? Here we go.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, they're great. I think they make great villains.
Oh my god, so I love. I mean, it's part of the gay joke, but I don't think it's meant to be because when they hear about the news of Chaz and Jimmy entering, and it's just Will Arnett like on the polar bear rug, just stroking it, and he's like, those freaks.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, like, you see the juxtaposition, like, it's a satire. I love it.
Will Arnett is hilarious. Hot take. Will Arnett is hilarious.
Yeah.
He's so funny in this movie. I've just been going through Arrested Development again
Nice.
because we're locked down, and that show is still so insanely funny. Job is such a singular character. I don't understand how you could create a character like that and have them be acted exactly like that.
It's so perfect.
And work.
Yeah.
when they call him Gob.
Yeah.
Gob Blue.
Yeah. And then also just watched Lego Batman movie the other night, and he's so good.
I need to watch that. I've heard great things.
Oh, you haven't seen Lego Batman movie?
I still need to see the second one too. The second Lego movie.
I mean, those 3 movies are all probably 5 stars.
Yeah.
My
The first one was just amazing.
Oh, the first one's
Yeah.
great.
Lego Batman movie, I think I might like even more, maybe?
Should we?
I do. Yeah.
Should that
He
be-
was actually on this week's The Masked Singer. He was a guest judge.
Will Arnett?
Really?
Yeah, because his show, he's the host of that Fox show, Lego Masters. Yeah,
Nice.
because of like I guess the success of Lego Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
but he was on The Masked Singer this week.
That's
That's
great.
awesome.
And
and
then
of course-
also, I'm just thinking about Will Arnett and Hot Rod. Have you guys seen Hot Rod?
Yes,
No, I haven't.
I love Hot Rod. We need
It's-
to do that one.
It's
I'm down.
so funny. It's so funny.
Great.
I love the Lonely Island's output, and I think it might be their funniest movie, period.
Really? That
Mhm.
Hilarious.
was that
Yeah.
before or after or kind of during their big like YouTube production phase?
They were on SNL at the time, so it's after their YouTube Channel 1 stuff. Yeah, they were on SNL at the time, and they made this movie,
Okay.
which Hot Rod was an old Will Ferrell project that just never happened, and then they made it, and it feels so Lonely Island.
I love that
So
movie
great.
so much.
I need to watch it.
It's really great.
I've seen
It's really great.
What's
We're
kind
gonna
of
have to do an episode.
I'm down.
And again, the movie that we're talking about is 2007's Blades of Glory.
Which is great. This is dumb, but it's just a silly thought. Like, I I remember in high school, my junior year, so 2 years after I've seen this movie, but I've seen it multiple times since then. For my pop culture class,
This is 2009.
correct, and I am tasked with the homework assignment, to list your top 5 favorite films.
Oh God.
And
The first 3 are Blades.
correct,
Second is Of. Third one is Glory.
correct, and then the 5th movie is Glory, the Civil War movie.
Yeah, of course.
Very good movie. But on the list was Blades of Glory, and I don't know why. I don't know what possessed me. Probably because I was just bored and I didn't think anyone would actually pay attention. But you had to put quotes from the movie in it, and the quote I chose was, "Are you an official here? Because you've officially given me a boner."
Oh my God! Did you present that in class?
Yeah, I did. It was great. People loved it. Teacher didn't love it.
It's my cross to bear.
I'm a sex addict. It's my cross to bear.
Oh, the fact that Luke Wilson makes a cameo.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I forgot about him. But
And speaking of cameos, I've been watching Sopranos. I forget Will Arnett was in Sopranos.
what?
Wait, which season?
Season 4, he plays the undercover detective's husband. He's probably like in maybe 5 minutes total. The whole
Oh,
series. But it's weird to see a very young Will Arnett, because this is like 2001, 2001, because I talk about 9/11.
Oh, shit.
And
Wow.
And yeah, just to see that, and then I totally forgot. I blanked that he was in Blades of Glory, and I saw that. I was like, "Whoa, this is weird."
oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
But another reason I love this movie, and I don't know if I'm just like the king of catching those teeny tiny snippets of people that I love, but the guy who holds the hot dog with the 2 wieners in the buns, he's one of my favorite poets of all time.
What?
Oh.
Yeah, and
Wait,
his name is
what?
Yeah, the guy who says, "Does this look normal to you?" And it's the 2 wieners in the bun.
Which, side note, I would absolutely eat. That looks
Oh yeah,
delicious.
Yeah,
Looks
you're
amazing.
getting more meat.
you're getting
For
more
the price of
product.
one.
Yeah.
It's like a deluxe hot dog, like, you know.
Exactly.
Right?
Nobody says the same thing about 2 hamburger patties.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Who is this poet, Aaron?
His
Tell us
name is
more about the
Poetry
poet.
Smith.
Who?
His name is Poetry Smith. He was a longtime veteran of the Def Poetry Jam
Oh.
on HBO.
Wow.
One of my favorite poems from him is called "Dating Myself," and it's just what it's about. And this is like 2002-ish. Are y'all familiar with Def Poetry Jam?
No, this is the first time I've heard of it.
No,
So
I thought you meant Dead Poet Society.
Yeah, that's where my head
Close.
was too.
But Def Poetry Jam was I think it was like 45 minutes to an hour long block
That tracks.
on HBO that had just poetry, and it was just people would come in. Kanye West, before he was like famous as a rapper, he's
So
on there.
Old Kanye?
Old, like young Kanye, like I'm talking. I think he had just turned 18, and he was on there. Smokey Robinson makes appearances. Jamie Foxx, very very early Jamie Foxx makes appearances. It's hosted by the rapper Mos Def. And yeah, so they just go on there and they just recite poetry, and I think it had like 3 seasons. It was what I love poetry. I write poetry. It's one of my favorite things in the world.
Nice.
Oh.
Okay, man.
And
That's awesome.
his name's Poetry Smith, poetry with an I. And it's called "Dating Myself," and it's a very Aaron Salinas poem. It's just, just kind of like, I'm cute and kind of cuddly and snuggly, and I'm just gonna date myself for a little bit. But
A
women,
mood.
as soon as they see you with another person, they want to start dating you all of a sudden. That's kind of like what it's about. It's a very cute poem. But he also has some other stuff. Like he's very much against toxic masculinity, which was huge for 2002, I think.
Yeah.
Especially like during that time when we were very like pro-war and pro-Americana, and you gotta you got to grab your penis along with your gun if you want to be taken seriously as a man. And he spoke against that. He's a very interesting person. But yeah, I remember because I had already known of him at that time. And then when I saw that, I was like, whoa. I remember like in the theater making the biggest deal about that, 3-second cameo?
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, that's Poetry Smith. And everybody was like, who? And I was like,
Yeah.
Poetry Smith. Like it was, yeah.
That's incredible.
But yeah, he's a great guy. But yeah, so.
That's amazing.
I love that.
What format of poems do you write, or is it just free form?
Sometimes free form, sometimes haiku. I actually won Poetry State Championship in Texas.
Nice.
Oh my gosh!
2012, yeah.
If you donate to the Patreon at the $10 level, Aaron will write a personal haiku for you.
Yes.
Okay, I can do that. Yeah.
I've also been writing in haikus. I just want attention.
I think. Sorry, James. I'm gonna have to go with Aaron on his poems are probably of higher quality.
Because he wrote, he won a championship, and I've been doing it for 3 years.
Yeah.
Fine.
Oh, one note I did want to make is so the CDC would totally approve of Jimmy McElroy's actions because he is using a lot of hand sanitizer in this movie.
Yeah.
And then we can't forget about his stalker Hector.
Yeah, Nick Swartzen.
Which I just want to say is very refreshing to see a character named Hector who doesn't have a bald fade and doesn't sell Mexican tar heroin.
Hey,
I gotta say that's.
Oh, you gotta make your own list.
I might because they actually just did a reunion with Hector and what's his face from was it Fast and Furious? The second movie.
Too Fast.
Too Furious. No.
Too Fast.
Tokyo
Drift. I'm sorry. Tokyo Drift.
Luda.
Yeah, that's the third one. And they brought Hector and that main character together, and they did a little catch up, and I thought it was so cute.
Amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, with Hector. Yeah.
I do remember that. Yeah.
If you could be a stalker for a celebrity or a celebrity athlete, who would it be?
Like an unhealthy one, like a stan, like a true.
Yeah, like a stan.
Part of me wants to say Antonio Banderas, just because he's zaddy.
Zaddy, yeah.
I'm gonna stick with Tina Fey because I'll learn something from her.
That's a good reason.
That's my hope is just I get more comedy knowledge.
I would do, obviously, John Mayer because I think he would actually kind of be about it. and then I'd be on his Instagram show, Current Mood.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
He has plans already about this.
Oh, yes. John, please.
John, we know you're listening. Just let Olivia on the podcast or
please.
Instagram.
Come to the pod, John. I feel like you'd have a lot to say.
Yeah. What's your shame watch, John?
Let us know.
In the comments below.
What if it's just something like, Titanic doesn't really get the.
I would totally yes. Let's do it. Let's do a Titanic podcast with John Mayer. I would be about it.
I feel like Titanic might count as a shame watch, even though it's the third highest grossing film of all time.
Right below Avatar, and below that, Avengers Endgame.
Well, especially because it's so memeable now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
And the film, again, that we are talking about is 2007 Blades of Glory.
Kenny, you didn't answer the stalker question. Who would you be?
I can't think of it. Definitely not Nick Swartzen. Good grief. I find it so bland. I saw him do stand-up once during the Funny or Die comedy tour. Mm-hmm. They were going to colleges, and a friend of mine had gotten us tickets to them going to Kansas State, I think, wherever the Kansas college was that was in Manhattan. So he drove up 6 hours to go see Will Ferrell, Zach Galifianakis, Dimitri Martin, and Nick Swartzen.
Wow.
And 3 out of 4 of them were so hilarious, and there was also Nick Swartzen. Because, Will Ferrell's hilarious. Dimitri Martin is so funny. Zach Galifianakis. This was right before he popped.
Really?
Yeah.
He was a
So
no name at that point.
yeah, and
Wow.
his stand-up was just incredible. And then Nick Swardson was just doing frat humor, which I wasn't that keen into. But also, if you're going to have someone playing a comedy show in a stadium at a college, you're going to bring someone that does frat humor.
Yeah, at Kansas State, that tracks.
Yeah, it was just so unappealing. Nick Swardson, never like him. He's not really funny.
What was his big pop movie? Was it Benchwarmers?
Nick Swardson?
Yeah.
I don't think he ever did pop.
Well, not pop, but where people were like, "Oh, that guy."
He's definitely that guy.
I think it's Reno 911, honestly.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I forgot. Yeah, he was very much a reoccurring actor.
Yeah.
He wasn't a reoccurring character. It was just he was playing other people, correct?
I've never watched Reno 911 of any substance. Anytime that I've watched it, it's me flipping over to Comedy Central and going, "Oh, okay, my show's not on yet," and then flipping anywhere else.
That is the most accurate statement about that.
Yeah.
Fun fact, though, Charlie Day met his wife on that show.
What?
Charlie Day met his wife on that show?
Yeah, I know we were talking about Lego Movie, but yeah, Charlie Day met his wife on that show. They were both, I think, like meth addicts or meth something.
And then they later went on to make It's Always Sunny.
What?
Can we talk about the ice skate foot chase?
Yeah.
God, that was so
yes.
solid.
And
That was
how
phenomenal.
outrageously hilarious that is.
God.
For the people that might be listening to this podcast that for some reason haven't watched the movie yet, at some point there's a foot chase between Will Ferrell's character and Will Arnett's character. Will Arnett is chasing Will Ferrell. And they're ice skating on a frozen river. And then at some point they're going into the actual auditorium where the match is about to happen. So they have to get off of the river and they start walking clumsily on their ice skates. They've just been doing flawless choreography on the river. And then just as soon as they take one step onto the ground, it becomes the most cumbersome, awful foot chase that takes so long. That scene alone is 5 stars. It's
so
outrageously funny.
And like, because it's the two things that always crack me up in that scene, in that montage, really, that sequence, like when they get up the elevator, because even the elevator bit's pretty funny. Or not elevator, escalator, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Escalator. But like after that, and they run into the ski shop.
Yeah.
And he knocks them all, Will Ferrell knocks them all down, and then Will Arnett grabs a woman, and Will Ferrell's just like, "Don't make me kill her." So dumb.
And then Snowflake.
Yes, that's what I was bringing up. And moments after, they continue the chase, and then Will Arnett just grabs a crossbow and shoots at Will Ferrell, and then it hits the mascot Snowflake. And oh my God, Will Ferrell's reaction, just the Snowflake, and then the silence that happens between.
That like 3 seconds of silence was
so funny. Some of the funniest thing I've still ever seen. And then the moment that just really captures it is Will Arnett's like little like eyebrow raise. That's like, well, what'd you expect? And they just keep running. It's so perfect.
Will Arnett and Amy Poehler's routine that's supposed to be depicting street life.
Oh my God.
Urban street life, and they're dancing to Marky Mark.
And the funky.
And it's so outrageously offensive and makes them into such jerks. They're hilarious.
Yeah.
Will Arnett, the name like Van Waldenberg, which is just synonymous with privilege, basically.
Oh, when they're in their house, like their mansion, and Will Arnett is like on the polar bear rug.
I love that. I love that.
And then when they're trying to guilt trip Katie, and he's like, "Remember when they used to be alive?"
What's that, Papa? You're crying even in heaven?
Still dead. But Kenny, going back to that ice skating chase, I think one of my favorite moments is they're that Will Arnett's in the hot pursuit of Will Ferrell.
Yes.
And they're coming up to a pipe, and this is supposed to be like a big in the road for him.
Yes.
It's time for a little chazzle dazzle. Does this beautiful elaborate spin, like
He's like,
gold.
And then Will Arnett just like does the limbo.
Beautiful.
It's so good.
so good.
And it's kind of dumb, but that's kind of why I really like Will Ferrell's character, because his character is, this sex crazed man who's from the streets and cover of Maxim, but he still appreciates and understands the beauty of the sport. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's a very weird line to like dabble on, but like he still understands the complexity.
This movie is weird tonally because there's not one character that you could call normal. Every single one of them is heightened.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't feel like it's a parody as well. Like, if it had gone just like 25% more, it would have definitely been an Airplane or a Hot Rod, something that's just packed with so many jokes per minute.
And do you think it's because there's not a ton of figure skating movies in the mainstream that they were like, hey, let's try and give a little bit of respect where it's due? Because I mean, it's chock full. It's got Nancy Kerrigan. It's got Scott Hamilton. It's got like primo people. Like, these are
Nancy
Olympic
Kerrigan, Scott Hamilton, primo people.
Just think,
Oh, and then
Just
they make
real
references. I think Chaz says something about Christy Yamaguchi as well. He won like a Christy Yamaguchi Achievement Award
Lifetime
or whatever.
Achievement Award. Yeah, like, and it's I think they didn't want to parody it too much, because I will admit it's probably one of the most difficult sports you can do.
The movie feels like it's making fun of ice skating the whole time because none of the choreography feels realistic.
No,
Probably just the double axel, and that's it.
Yeah, which I'm so fine with. I don't know. It's kind of surprisingly slow, I guess, which is so fine. This movie's good. But it's also, I'm thinking about Dodgeball, which is a very similar movie in terms of tone, but still Vince Vaughn is playing an everyman character. He's just a guy. Mm-hmm. The one that is closest to feeling like a normal person is Jenna Fish's character, Katie. But even she has that line where Katie and Jimmy McElroy are on the date.
Yes.
And she tells a story about her parents dying.
Yeah, I know it's like. And then they kiss, and
it's so bad.
I never thought that was a romantic story before.
Oh yeah, that kiss is hilarious.
Yeah.
And kind of like to double back, I mean, to literally the opening of the film. God, that's such a funny
DreamWorks logo.
From the studio that brought you Gladiator.
And
oh my God, guys, I almost forgot. So I have the DVD, and when I popped it in, the first preview was for, wait for it, a B movie.
A B movie?
Like,
oh my God.
With Jerry Seinfeld. And it's not just a normal preview, it's the extended preview.
No.
Oh, God.
It's him
like
in
jazz?
costume dropping down and like doing a scene from the movie, and then Steven Spielberg comes in and just he's like, this should be a cartoon. And
Spielberg's it all up.
Bielsberg.
Yeah, that's
Beeben Bielsberg.
That's right. It's just
Beeben Bielsberg.
Thank you.
Unbelievable film.
I've never seen it. I've only heard of its weirdness. And there's this weird thing in the Austin improv community where like people are obsessed with it. Mainly,
you like jazz?
Like what?
You like
jazz?
Like
jazz?
Is that?
You like jazz?
Where are you? Is
Do you like jazz?
I've never seen the movie.
Hint, hint.
You mean you've never be the movie? Get it?
All right, I think it's time
Not
to
even
do
in
that.
100 episodes would we have watched B movie.
Yeah, not even.
Does that mean it's going to be episode 101?
Maybe.
Aaron, cut
It
that
just
part
might
out.
have to. It just
Aaron,
might have
cut
to.
out everything before this part. James,
No.
start over.
No.
Welcome to Shame Watch.
Sing.
But yeah, I think when they're at the orphanage and he does that wonderful spin that was just god-awful CG,
All right, hold on a second.
and it turns to the father and goes, I'll take him.
That is great. And
The
then-
nun going like,
The dude in the sign of the cross.
Yeah.
Yeah. The actor's name is William Fichtner, Jimmy McElroy's adopted father, who I believe says that he's looking into adopting human orphans.
Correct.
Which is-
that is one of the. Yep.
So funny. And the other part, which is hysterical, is having him say, I'm unadopting you,
Yes,
I know.
I love it.
which is so hilarious.
I
End
mean,
of statement.
Just make it a clean break, you know?
I guess that's not the right word. Legally disowning you. Well, I guess that amounts to the same thing.
That's
It's
right.
So great.
He's another that guy actor.
He
Yeah.
is. He's always so
Mhm.
good.
And he's honestly a that guy sports movie actor, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or military, I think. Because I remember him from Longest Yard, the remake.
Oh, yeah.
He's the quarterback. He's the big bad cop. Yeah, he's honestly like, and Kenny just said his name. I'll never remember it.
You're going to remember William Fichtner?
Nope.
How could you not remember William Fichtner?
There's
William
three-
Fichtner, come on the pod.
Yeah.
Come on the pod.
Whenever you're ready. Whenever you're ready, William.
I just watched Dark Knight for the first time in a long time, and he's in that prologue.
He's got the sawed-off shotgun and is shooting it at what's his face in the very beginning.
The Joker?
No. The guy with the makeup.
No, that's the Joker, Aaron.
No,
The Batman?
not the Batman. The other one. He's got the smile and like he's like
Joaquin Phoenix?
Oh.
no, not Johnny Cash. The guy he's like, you ever wonder how I got this situation on my face? I don't know.
What's the
I don't know.
situation?
Can't think of it off the top of my head.
Those
William
that trilogy I'd
Fichtner's
actually
line
love to rewatch.
is what?
What?
You go first.
Okay. That trilogy I'd love to rewatch.
Oh yeah,
Christopher Nolan Batman. I haven't seen him in a long time.
They are all on my Movies Anywhere account now.
Oh, I will steal them. I just remember that Batman Begins is a really good screenplay because they make the distinction. They make the distinction because like Batman's whole backstory usually was that his parents
were shot.
just happened to be shot. But in Batman Begins, he's the reason they leave. So that's why he feels the guilt. Every other time it's just like a random happenstance.
Oh, here's the great thing about Lego Batman movie. You
Sure.
don't see his parents get shot.
finally.
Yeah, we know.
I know, that's like even part of my tragic backstory is the horse lord.
Please regale us with that backstory, Olivia.
Oh,
For-
let me guess.
for-
Let me guess. Let me guess. Can I guess? Let me guess. Let me
Yes,
guess.
go
Can I
ahead,
guess?
Kenny.
You were walking out of Zorro with your horse parents, and you were walking down a horse alley, and your horse parents got shot by deadly horse tranquilizers.
Yeah, it's like you were there, Kenny.
Wait, is Kenny the killer all
Were
along?
you?
Is this the
Have you
horse
ever-
joke?
Have you ever dressaged?
Oh,
with the
speaking
devil
of
in the
horse shampoo, Chaz Michaels has horse shampoo, and
Yeah.
I'm curious to see if it actually does give you a shiny coat.
I mean,
At the $150 level at Patreon, we'll all get horse shampoo and start
mane
using
and tail
it regularly.
specifically,
Yeah.
which you can purchase at the grooming section of most major supermarkets.
Can you really?
Amazing.
Yeah, go to HEB or Walmart and it'll be there in the same bottle. They haven't changed it for decades.
I don't think people have started hoarding that for the quarantine. So
Yeah, I'll Instacart it. I'll have my delivery person go to the grocery store just for horse shampoo during the time.
Penny, go ahead and archive that because that's our 150 goal.
Yes, 125 was what was it? Was it Aaron's Poetry? No, Aaron's Poetry was $10 a month.
Yeah.
Oh, 125 was the tattoo.
The tattoo, James gets a
That's
tattoo.
canon.
Yeah.
That's
Damn it,
gotta
I'll
happen.
commit to it too. How about we all get tattoos?
Oh, no.
No, I'm good. But
Yeah,
I'll get one of the ones that you put the water on.
Oh, yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, and it comes off within like a week.
It depends on the tattoo and the placement, but sure.
I'll do the temporary tattoo.
No, you have to do the permanent
Yeah, you have
one.
to get a real one. That's
What?
different.
James, it's in the canon. You can't mess up the canon.
I feel bullied.
Yeah, as sure as it is canon that anytime anyone gets a twofer, Aaron has to pay $30 to them.
What? No.
It's just canon. Like we all.
Remember when Aaron tried to take away money for cancer?
That was
I-
unreal. I
Oh,
can't
yeah.
even believe that.
Speaking of cancer, this is
How are you going to pull this off?
Just like,
I was like, watch your mouth, James.
Tread lightly, James. Tread
Yes,
lightly.
wait. Scott Hamilton is a cancer survivor and a brain tumor survivor, and he developed a organization called CARE that is essentially just a fundraiser to help those cancer people who are dealing with cancer.
Oh, okay.
That's how I
Great.
pull it out.
Okay, I was like, you better watch your mouth.
Yeah,
I was gonna
I
say,
know. I'm not an
this
asshole.
could very
I'm
well end the
cancer.
podcast.
Exactly.
I don't know. I still kind of felt it offensive. Aaron, you should pay $30.
to CARE. Scott Hamilton's.
To care.
Play the Rotten Tomatoes game, shall we, folks? Rotten Tomatoes.
Yes.
Can I say one more thing about Scott Hamilton?
Here we go. One last thought about
I
Scott
watched-
Hamilton, the swimmer.
I watched behind. So on the DVD, there's 20 questions with Scott Hamilton, and he seems like such a cool dude. Like he is so down to earth, and like he was just like joking with the DVD producer. So he's just a cool dude, and the fact that he's beat cancer and a brain tumor and isn't bitter about that, but instead like makes it part of his cause to help people, I think is super inspiring. He has a book, I believe, called Finish First. Hold on. Book. But I really want to check. It's called Finish First, Winning Changes Everything. So I'm going to read that because like to me, he really is kind of an inspiration, and I want to learn from him.
Scott Hamilton, come on the pod.
Oh my God, please. That'd be amazing.
Please.
I tried messaging him on on Twitter, but his messages are disabled. So
That makes sense.
Aw.
That makes. I saw that you followed him.
yeah, yeah. He's Scott Hamilton 84 because that's the year he won the Olympics.
Yep.
Oh, that's awesome.
But yeah,
Living in the past, huh?
And his signature move was a backflip.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I read it on his website. Like I'll look it up again, but
Yeah, that's pretty
he
cool.
just did a backflip. Also, listen, I know people are going to go out there and look up Scott Hamilton, and they're like, James, he's not from Bowling Green. It says here he's from Toledo. You're a liar, Internet. He's not from Toledo. Don't lump Bowling Green into Toledo territory, all right? Bowling Green is different from Toledo. Also, it was the coolest thing on the 20 questions thing when he said, yeah, I'm Scott Hamilton. I was born in Bowling Green, Ohio. That's it. I'm done.
Yeah, if you just look up Scott Hamilton, the second search result on YouTube is backflip 1992.
Shit,
So-
I need to Google that.
That's pretty interesting. Because like I said, you're walking on knives when you're doing this.
He's done
So the accuracy and strength, I would think, needed to do that.
Yeah.
Kind of interesting.
It's
We
so
haven't
cool.
even talked about the Iron Lotus.
Well,
Which
Oh,
would
he's
never
like-
happen.
When he's like, I took it to the one place crazy enough to try it.
North
North Korea.
Of course.
Olivia, can you explain what the heck the Iron Lotus is, just for people that might not have listened or watched Blades of Glory?
Sure. So the Iron Lotus is this move that was developed by Craig T. Nelson, the actor, not the character, the real life actor.
Sure.
He had so much free time after Coach ended.
That's right.
And so he started working for the Federation and developed this move called the Iron Lotus. But it was deemed too risky. So he took it to North Korea. And essentially, he had tried with a male and a female pair. And I think is it like one of the skaters is like wrapped around the other skater's neck?
Yeah. Which just trying to think about how that would happen. Period.
Right.
And so, there, it's almost...
and so then the lighter weight skater, I guess, is released into the air. And kind of does a front flip or a back flip? Back flip.
Yeah.
And then the heavier skater, the stationary skater, he does like this spin move. But unfortunately, it did not work in North Korea either because the female skater got beheaded. So Craig T. Nelson, not the coach, but actual Craig T. Nelson.
Right, yeah.
He was like, hey, we need to do a move like this if we're going to win in Montreal. And
the one thing that sets them apart is twin dongs.
Yeah.
The physics was off with the male and female.
It's so stupid that actual Craig T. Nelson agreed. It was just like, yep, that's exactly.
Twin dongs.
Twin dongs.
So, like, if one of y'all, like, threw me in the air like that, no.
Yeah, like, I'd imagine stuff like that has been attempted.
I don't think that specifically.
But
I don't know. People do some weird shit online.
I'll say this. I don't think in the professional circuit that's been tried.
Okay.
Maybe
I didn't think a
Russia?
backflip was done, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a single, not a double, like not in a pairs thing.
Oh, I also like it in their final routine when they're like clanking their skates together.
Oh, that was cool.
Their
That's
final
honestly just
routine
cool.
is so cool.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Flash.
Savior.
Are we ready for Rotten Tomatoes?
Yeah. Penny looks.
James, calm down.
I love this film. I really do.
Film's amazing.
This brings up a nice.
The Rotten Tomatoes game is based off of the website Rotten Tomatoes, a film review aggregator that takes all submitted film reviews, averages them out by a pass-fail system that assigns a percentage on how many people might think a movie is either fresh or rotten. This is not a score that a film is X% good. It is only a score of how many people liked it. I'm going to be asking for two Rotten Tomatoes scores, one being the critical score, as well as the audience score, and all of these numbers will be to be without going under. So starting with the critical...
Sorry.
Hey, we got to get good sound. We got to do a sync check. We haven't done a sync check in a while.
Sync.
It's gonna be May.
Out of 185 critical reviews, without going under, starting with Olivia, what do you think the critical score is for Blades of Glory?
I think it's 68%.
68%. Why 68%?
I feel like critics, really liked Will Ferrell because he was like at his, peak around this time.
Mm-hmm.
I obviously think the homophobic jokes, gay panic humor, docked it a little bit.
Yes.
Just, slightly by 32%. But I think just, he was in his prime and there's just a lot of really good humor in this movie. So I think that if anything, they had to have at least laughed a little bit.
Yeah. James, what do you think the critical score is for Blades of Glory?
84%.
84%. That's much higher than what Olivia said.
Yeah, it's all my biased. I love this film.
Now, Aaron, Olivia's score was 68. James's score was 84. You could go above those, below those, or just say a letter.
Joker, that's who it was.
Good delivery. Good job. Good job, Aaron.
I'm gonna say 58.
58%.
Which I don't know. I'm just thinking about this now. It's weird how Adam Sandler gets such flack for his movies, but Will Ferrell is kind of like the little brother that the movie community doesn't really hammer as hard on him. I guess because he just doesn't direct or produce as much.
Here's the thing that I find different about Will Ferrell. Adam Sandler pretty much stays in his wheelhouse most of the time, and then every once in a great while will step outside. Will Ferrell will very often do something very commercial and bland, so he can do something that's really weird and niche. After this movie, I think in 2010, he did a full Spanish language comedy film.
Yeah.
He's speaking Spanish the entire time with a full Spanish cast, which is weird. He did that Lifetime movie, and no one was going to say anything until I think someone just blabbed. He did a straight-up Lifetime movie that we don't ever talk about with Kristen Wiig, and it's just a Lifetime movie. It's not funny.
And I listened to the Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend podcast, and he talks about that, how it was supposed to be way over the top and it's making fun of Lifetime movies, but no one got that.
Yeah.
So it was a flop, but he and Kristen Wiig had a fun time.
He did Spoils of Babylon and IFC. He does these really small projects and frequently doesn't get acclaim for them just because you're just kind of going, what is this? Because it's so small.
Yeah, that's true. And it kind of seems like Will Ferrell's doing things because he wants to and because he enjoys them, as opposed to Adam Sandler, where it's more so, hey, I need some money.
Yeah.
I don't care how I get it. I just need some money, which I think it's been calculated. His great-grandchildren will never have to work with, I think, just the Netflix deal alone. So, I mean, he doesn't need money.
Yeah.
Enjoy the craft, which I'm assuming is what Uncut Gems was, a craft he enjoyed.
Mm-hmm.
And it looked good, man, but nobody takes it serious anymore.
And then even his partnership with Adam McKay, you can't say that they're of a similar ilk, but they're all, I don't know, it's trying to push Will Ferrell's persona in different ways.
Yeah.
Anchorman is such a character. Ricky Bobby is a completely different flavor. The Step Brothers is so juvenile. Yeah. And then other guys, he's giving such an understated performance. And then they went back to Anchorman 2, which is just not good at all. Anyways, going back to the Rotten Tomatoes game, James, you were the closest without going under. Congratulations. The correct answer is 70%.
Wow, Olivia, you're right
there. Oh my God.
So close.
Right there.
But this game could completely change with the audience score. Out of 1,402,994 audience rankings. That's 1,402,994 audience rankings. Aaron, what do you think the audience score is for Blades of Glory?
That's a passionate bunch. 87.
Damn it, Aaron.
Damn, I was going to say
87. Why 87?
I think it's just a passionate bunch, which it's a very quotable movie. Yeah. Even as homophobic and just disgusting as some of the lines are, you can't help but chuckle, and you can't help but appreciate at some of the stuff that they're doing, just because it almost plays like it's trying to be harmless. But I understand that some of the stuff is just terrible, but some of the stuff you're just like, God, that's just like the Twin Dongs line. Normally would not give that much of a laughter to it, but the way it's just done is just so funny.
James, what do you think the audience score is for Blades of Glory?
93%.
93%. Much higher.
People love this film. I love this film.
People are craving it. They gotta get a helping of Blades.
It's provocative.
Get the people going.
Mm-hmm.
No one knows what it means.
Olivia.
I want to say 88%.
88%.
A B+.
A B+. So Aaron gives it 87, James gives it a 93, and Olivia gives it a B+, which is not a number.
I said 88.
B+. Aaron, you are closest without going under. The correct answer is 68%.
What?
Oh
Olivia!
my God!
What is this travesty?
You're going to have to create a whole bunch of fake accounts in order to get that number up, James.
Oh, I'm on it. I bet,
Oh
you know
my
what?
God.
I bet there's a lot of people who are like, this is dumb. I'm going to get downvoted.
Maybe like recently, people who watched it recently were like, I'm offended. And then they...
I think this movie is just fine. I'm a big fan of the last act. I think that's hilarious, and I think the rest of the movie should have had that tone of that very last shot where they grab each other, I think tap their skates together and rocket out of the arena into the sky.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's
amazing.
What ending? And then he rips off his clothes to show the tattoo, and then magically puts it together.
It's amazing. This film is like when you're having such a crappy day and you just need a genuine good laugh. This is the perfect movie to watch.
Yeah, it's a very pleasant watch.
I love it.
When he was swimming in the frozen lake, and he, if not near death, for sure near frostbitten, and he completely changes with his hair completely done up. Good stuff.
Great
Good
job.
stuff.
Great job.
But side bit, when John Heder actually speaks...
Granted.
Thank you. When John Heder speaks in Japanese, he actually knew Japanese.
Yeah,
I believe that.
Yeah, he went on a mission trip to Japan, and he needed to be fluent before he could go. And he spoke Japanese. And he broke his ankle for this movie. So
I saw. Yeah, both of them trained to figure skate for this movie.
Amazing.
Good for them.
Good for them.
Well, that's been our episode of Shame Watch.
Wait.
I'm a sex addict. It's my cross to bear. It's a real disease with doctors and podcasts and everything. There you go. James, I did the thing.
That's been our episode of Shame
Wait. Let's capture the podcast. That's beautiful. Where did you find it from? I don't know. It just came to me.
That's a great shot too when it cuts to the line. Yeah. That's been our episode of Shame Watch.
Wait.
Chad's podcasts.
I went to a place where they try something this dangerous. North Podcast.
Worse.
That's been our episode of Shame Watch. Thank you to Denise Hudson for our rockin' theme song, and to James Garcia for our artwork. I'm not going to thank Olivia anymore.
That's mean. You still should.
Thanks, Olivia, for all your hard work.
Thank you.
Don't forget
You're
to
welcome.
rate, review, and subscribe to Shame Watch on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and wherever podcasts are found. Do you have suggestions, questions, comments, or general tomfoolery you want to contribute to the pod? Send it our way. Visit us on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook at ShameWatchPod so we can talk with you. Aaron. Finally, you can contribute to our Patreon at patreon.com/ShameWatch. It does cost money to put out superb content like this pod, so even a $1 donation can make a huge difference. Kenny, what's our $10 level do?
Dude, I don't know.
Olivia, can you answer it?
At our $10 level, Aaron will write a personalized haiku for you.
Yes, every month.
What?
Yeah, no, that's canon, bud.
It's
I can
canon.
help. Hey,
Sure.
Okay. That's the only thing with me that's canon.
what?
Oh, the foot picture.
Yeah, it's a picture of feet, and then a haiku will be overlaid. So it's like this really beautiful picture of feet,
Well,
and then
that
a haiku.
could be his logo, like his watermark.
Yeah.
My watermark's my feet pic.
There you go. At Kenny, what can they do at the $7 level?
At the $7 level, you can get behind-the-scenes content that you can't get anywhere else, along with contributing and helping pick our next movie marathon, along with getting all of the other benefits of the rest of the membership tiers.
Oh, thank you, Kenny. It's like you read that somewhere. Aaron, what's at the $5 level?
They can get another feet pick if they want. You know what I'm saying?
Nope, that's not it.
Okay. They get a personalized refrigerator magnet.
No. Try again. Final chance. You froze.
They get a.
They get to hear what we talk about before the podcast. They get
They also
behind the
get
scenes.
They also get one of my autographed headshots.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there we go.
So you get the pre-talk and also one of Olivia's signed autographed headshots. And at the $2 level, you get to listen to our exclusive Patreon episodes of our marathon, and I believe our upcoming exclusive content with Olivia Suarez. That is the Love Thing. What was it called?
The Before trilogy.
Nope, that's the marathon we did. Olivia, what's the new Bachelor show?
Oh, well, so I want to say April 12th or April 13th, I will be doing a recap show, Shame Watch TV, The Bachelor Presents Listen to Your Heart. So join me for this 6-week event. It's going to be amazing.
It'll be insane. And I
In
don't
sync.
know. In sync. And with that, bye. And you can find all of that at patreon.com/shamewatch. Now, the other benefit you get at the $2 level is that we shout your name out on the podcast.
Really? When do we do that?
Right now. Kenny Madison.
Of Austin, Texas.
Aaron O. Salinas.
Of Austin, Texas.
Gene Fight.
Of Bowling Green, Ohio.
Alan Smith. Sorry, Alan.
Of Austin, Texas.
Got a cough in my throat.
If you have COVID, stay home.
I'm not leaving anywhere. It's just because
Swear
I'm
to God, if it goes through this computer.
Just dry throat. Bradley McPherson.
Of Gillette, Wyoming.
Jennifer Steinberg.
Of Austin, Texas.
Herc.
Of Austin, Texas.
Ian Keegan.
Oh, wait. I'm sorry.
Tulsa. Okay.
Bradley McPherson's of Tulsa.
Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, Ian.
Ian is from Gillette, Wyoming.
Gillette, Wyoming.
I'm going to make a note real quick so that doesn't happen again.
Yeah.
Tulsa. Okay. Danny Cantu.
Of San Marcos, Texas.
And Tiffany Tipton.
Of Austin, Texas?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Woo!
And until next time, our watch has now ended. Dive at your own risk.
Dude, we didn't even talk about Mr. Feeney.
Oh my God, you're right!
No,
He was the judge!
No, it's too late.
That's the
It's
button.
too late.
Dun, dun,
Sorry,
dun.
it's too late.